Hiya, and welcome back to Password. The game that teaches us that... that Sal is a baby, and he is precious, and he is adorable, and he is amazing, and if anything happens to him, I will throw rocks at Oswin's window. Anyways, let's just hop right in. That's a good question. My eyes went wide as the world continued to move, although in gentle rocking motions up and down. Groping around next to me, I was met with firm muscle and the quiet grumblings of the crocodile underneath me. Breathing out, I went limp on top of Sal, closing my eyes and dozing as he continued to sleep. It was nice, relaxing, as if I were on the ocean or being rocked to sleep gently in a hammock, maybe. I was roused from my nap when I felt Sal's claws running gently through the fur on my back, teasing and combing lightly as I lay there. Morning. Sorry if I woke you. No, it's okay, I was awake. Sort of. Everything alright? You seem dazed. Just a strange dream. I didn't realize where I was at first, then I figured I'd just doze until you woke up. I see. I'm okay, I promise. Just still trying to make sense of it all. Anything specific, or are you meaning literally everything? I guess if I had to narrow it down, it'd be the dream first, and then just what happened yesterday. Would you like to talk about either? This is going to sound like a strange question, but did you, me, Haas, and Tyson play cards together at any point? I can't say we have. Why? What about, a river? Did we go swimming at a river? No. It just felt so real. Were you dreaming lucidly? Could that be it? Maybe. I don't think I've ever dreamt like that before, but I could have sworn I was awake doing those things. Does it bother you? Maybe only a little. I like knowing when I'm dreaming and when I'm not. The past few vivid dreams I've had I knew were dreams because I dreamt about being at home. But these were places here, I guess? If you weren't still right where we went to sleep, I'd offer sleepwalking as an alternative. I wasn't sleepwalking either because that would have required you to be awake too, right? Ah, yes, right. I don't know, Sal, it just feels strange. I feel strange. Strange as in sick, or strange as in... I don't know how to explain it, just strange, I guess. Is there anything I can do? I don't know, really. I guess maybe once we talk things out with everyone today, things will make more sense. I don't think I understand, but that will be the case, but I hope so. Were you wanting to head downstairs now? Maybe in a bit. I'm still a bit out of it. He ran his hand through the fur on my head before leaning down and kissing me on the cheek, rather lightly brushing his snout against my face. Sal, did you just... Sorry, was that too far? Was that meant to be a kiss? I'm sorry, I'll ask next time. No, it's fine, just... I guess I expected something more, like you're allowed, you know. May I be honest? Of course. I may just be tired, but I keep getting distracted by how easy it would be to just fit your whole head in my mouth. Like a watermelon. Sal, we are not going to reenact the bite of 87. What? Sorry. Maybe it'll be better if you initiate the next kiss. Like, right now, I think the moment is past, and continuing with the honesty, I could use some breakfast. Oh, hiya, sorry. We got up and got dressed. Is that the kiss of 87? Sal seemed lost in his thoughts while we got ready to head downstairs, and when we did, he lagged behind, catching up with me at the base of the stairs. Shooting me a reassuring nod, we made our way into the dining room. He was enjoying a cup of coffee as well, quietly listening to Roswell as he spoke a mile a minute. He was paying attention, but not really adding much to the conversation, it seemed. Aw, fuck. Dean! Just go back to bed, Dean. Go back to bed. Go back to bed. I am in a blanket right now. I have a blanket over me. Oh, shit. Yeah, we're probably gonna finish, Sal's route tonight. Fuck, might be within, like, 20 minutes. I don't fucking know. Wait, is there sarcasm or bullshit going on in chat right now? Because, like, I'm reading chat while going through there, and I can't tell if there is any. Granted, I'm not good at social cues, so, like, eh. I looked across to Sal, who flashed me a smile before looking to Dean. His expression softened as Dean gave him some kind of look, and for a few moments they seemed to have a conversation without speaking. It resulted in Dean excusing himself from the table and leaving the dining room. I should go deal with that later. Normally it'd be all over making 30th alright. What's different this time?
Oh, I think I know.
It's complicated. How complicated could it be? Does it have something to do with what happened yesterday? Do I know what it's about? I would say so, yes. Oh. Wait, did something bad happen? I wouldn't say bad, if a little problematic, which is why I'll deal with it later. I'm best equipped to deal with Dean.
May I ask a question?
Of course.
This would happen to be a case of weighing up your friendship with Dean versus your, romantic endeavors.
Romantic what now? Who? When? I saw Haas and Tyson share a look with one another before they slowly got out of their chairs and made to leave. Roswell, what gave it away?
Intuition, mostly. Just a sequence of events and the information given seemed to be the simplest answer.
It's complicated. Can we just get back to what exactly it is that is so complicated so I'm not in the dark? Sal and Dave are dating! Haas flashed Sal a thumbs up as he walked out the door after Tyson. Sounds of them chatting fading quickly away to leave the rest of us silently reeling in what he'd said. Oh! We're not dating as such, but we're curious to know if it could work. That's basically dating. Given the current state of affairs, it's not quite there. Priorities are going to things not romantically inclined. At least for now. Right, once we're off the mountain, we'll figure it out properly.
But I assume you two will continue to bunk up together regardless.
If Dave we're talking about, do you know anyone else who likes to cuddle more? I chuckled nervously as Orlando shook his head, Sal keeping his gaze averted. Well, I get why it's a sensitive topic with Dean, then... God, why does this just scream potential drama? Probably because feelings are messy.
I trust your judgment, Sal. Don't worry about your dishes. I'll help Orlando with them so you can spend more time with Dave.
What if I wanted to spend time with him?
Rude. Besides, chores need doing anyway, and I happen to know how to watch them properly now.
Oh, this I've got to say. There wasn't really anything else to say beyond that. Roswell flashed me a wink and started dragging Orlando as best he could by the arm to the kitchen. Leaving just Sal and I in the room, he gestured upstairs. I think this is it. Sal had wandered off to go check in with Dean briefly, but insisted I go on ahead. So I did. And ended up just waiting on his bed, wondering how long he'd be. Sorry, I'm here now. That didn't take long. Just had to make sure Dean was doing alright. He's fine enough. That doesn't sound like he's alright. He will be. It's still just a sore spot. Any ideas how long it's going to continue being a sore spot? I don't like that he's in pain. Truthfully, I don't know. Could be tomorrow, could be a week. It's hard to say. Oh. Didn't expect Roswell to be so observant about it, though. Really? He's pretty switched on, normally anyway. From what I've heard, it's mostly just academics, but... Do you know the difference between intelligence and wisdom? No. What about book smarts versus street smarts? Oh yeah, I know that just from being around Tyson. It's not quite the same, but imagine Roswell having no street smarts but having a lot of book smarts. Well, yeah, but I don't quite get how this relates to how that relates to this. What I'm trying to make is that I didn't expect the overlap for his normal areas of expertise to cross into knowing what relationship we find ourselves in. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I suppose with everyone being friends, it makes sense in a way that we'd pick up on small things that most others wouldn't think about. It might be why Haas seemed to clue in quickly too. Or Orlando just dropped the ball. It could be that too. Now, was there anything you wanted to do tonight? Cuddle? Aside from cuddle. I guess just that. Beyond taking a shower and then settling in for the night, I think that's all I have planned. Sal seemed to sigh, stiffness in his shoulders releasing. Good. I had some concerns that you might be wanting something more intimate. Oh, well, if you're offering? Oh no, I don't think I'm ready for that. What about a kiss? I might be able to manage that. A small one, anyway. I don't want to make you uncomfortable. It's mostly fine. I'm just still thinking about this morning. About how my head could fit in your mouth. He grumbled, rubbing his neck. I don't really know how to kiss, and with the relative size of our mouths, it might be difficult. So you're worried that you're just going to bite my face? No! Alright, perhaps a little bit. It'll be fine, Sal. We don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with. His hands found my shoulders suddenly, and much like the morning, he pressed the end of his snout against my cheek and held it there for a moment. I might need practice, but is that alright? I chuckled, shaking my head before embracing him. It was great. I went to shower and tagged out with Sal once I was done. Then we jumped into bed, and like most other times we'd shared a bed, I found myself laying across his front, thrumming in his chest, making me smile. Soon enough, the thrumming died down, and I could tell he was sleeping, a peaceful smile on his face. As his chest rose and fell, I thought about what was to happen next with us. Maybe asking Orlando for some tips might help, because I didn't really know what I was doing either. That was a problem for the morning, and with a yawn, I fell asleep. Love bites. Sorry, Dave, you're going to end up just fucking dead. It's just going to be accidental death for you, Dave. Hiya. For the briefest of moments, I thought that my stomach was still rumbling. It was just the crocodile acting as my mattress house happily vibrating in its sleep. I settled back down briefly and considered what my dream had been. Or maybe it wasn't a dream at all, but a memory. Where that line was drawn was confusing at best, and just as I was considering asking Thanatos about it, Sal stirred. Good morning. He yawned, and I got a good view of just how big his mouth was. Did you sleep well? I was leaning back, now staring at him wide-eyed. What? I know you joked about fitting my head in your mouth, but, oh, sorry. No, it's alright, well, I'm absolutely awake now. Without coffee? Coffee will still happen, I'll get up and make some soon. Sal rumbled as I slid off him so I could sit up beside him. Ready to head downstairs? Almost. Sleeping in for once was nice. But I feel like I should brush my teeth before heading downstairs. Your breath didn't smell that bad? It should be minty. Before breakfast, though? My mouth feels unpleasant either way. Should I wait, or... No, you can go on ahead. I won't be long. I got up, but it seemed as though Sal was content to lay in bed for a little bit longer as I started to get ready. Once he was out of bed, he wandered over to the bathroom, and I took that as my cue to get the coffee going. Oh, hi, Toes. Yay! Alright, do we want to go to the kitchen group or the museum group? Yes. Congratulations, Damien. Yay! Yeah, it's the museum. Dean. Dean. No. It actually sounds like something that my best friend from high school would listen to. Like, sorry, Amethyst, but like, your taste in the lyrics that you've been posting have been giving me like edgy, slight emo, nightcore vibes, akin to Angel of Darkness. Like, don't take offense to that. It's just an observation. Pushing myself up, I tried to figure out where I was. One of the bedrooms was about as much as I could tell, but beyond that, it was hard to say. You're always emo. What a face bomb. I haven't. It was clean, so that ruled out Tyson and Roswell. I couldn't see any Platt, so that ruled out Dean. Sal stepped out of the bathroom, locking eyes with me and wondering what he should say or do. My throat felt scratchy, but after clearing my throat, I shifted so I was sitting on the edge of the bed. How long was I out for? A while. Long enough. Hours, probably. That long? How did I get here? Dean carried you upstairs. Almost had to fight Tyson for it, but they settled on leaving you with me anyway. Oh, okay. Did you want anything to eat? A shower, maybe? Yeah, shower sounds great. All I can smell is blood. And food? I'm guessing it's dinner time? You missed dinner, but that's alright. You didn't miss much. Just sandwiches. Oh, gotcha. He wandered closer, lightly petting my head. Why were you unconscious downstairs anyway? Did you use... I shook my head and he breathed out a sigh of relief. Although I still don't feel great about it. In 2 days, we're just... going to face this all again? Right. I mostly wear dark clothes. But like, the long hair, side cut. The difference is I thoroughly enjoy cute shit. Like, fucking Studio Ghibli. Kingdom Hearts. It's just cute shit. Right. Sal reached out for my hands and I took them. I held on as he helped me to my feet and he let his hands fall away. It's not going to be easy, but this is something we can talk about as a group once everyone has had a chance to think things over. You, however, should get cleaned up. I can go get you a snack if you want it. I'm just going to go ahead and deny that. It's not going to be... Wait, you, however, should go get cleaned up. I can get you a snack if you want it. Thanks, Sal. But before I go, I want you to tell me if you're alright or not. I'm okay now. Tired, but I'm okay. He gave me another look before nodding and heading to the door. I went to have my shower and Sal was there with a sandwich when I got out. He watched me eat and then we cuddled for a bit on the bed. Him running his hand along my back as I rested to his front just thinking about how the day went. In 2 days we'd be going through this again and the few looks I exchanged with Sal in the dark told me deep down he was worried about it too. Not that there was anything to be done about it, but taking comfort in the safety we gave each other, we soon fell asleep. Do you see what I mean? We might actually finish this tonight. Dave. I turned to watch Sal sit up in bed, yawning widely before rubbing his eyes. Good morning. Yeah. Did you sleep well? I slept, I think. I'm awake, right? Sal ran his claws through the fur on my head, gently, nodding. He pulled away to get out of bed and stretch. What about you? How'd you sleep? Well enough. Is it yesterday? No, it's today. No, I mean, did you not sleep well because of what happened yesterday? He shook his head. I said no, it's about today. He looked me over with a slight tilt of his head as he finished getting dressed. What happened yesterday was a lot, but it's today that has me worried. Can we believe Dominic? Can we really be alright with the plan for what's happening tomorrow? Right, yeah. I'm sorry, suppose we'll see how everyone is holding up once we're all awake. Sal waited for me to get dressed and we headed downstairs. Upon seeing Sal stop, I turned to see what he was looking at to find Dean standing outside with a cup of coffee. Wordlessly, Sal motioned for me to continue on without him before he changed direction towards the back door. Before he opened the door, he flashed me a quick smile before joining Dean, leaving me to get coffee on my own. The moment I stepped into the kitchen, oh yeah. I just start skipping. Hi, Toes. What? Sorry, I zoned out. Some rats are pets. Yeah, we're starting Tyson's route tonight. We are definitely starting Tyson's route tonight. Festin isn't a pest. What other rat is going to have a cheetah for dinner? Of course! I wandered over and gave him a firm squeeze, and he hugged me lightly back in comparison. What is happening?
They're hugging. Yeah, where's my hug?
You can hug Roswell. What if I don't want the hug, Rothwell?
Well, that's rude.
Did you want to hug Orlando?
Well, now feel fourth, but yes!
Alright. Sal patted me on the head, giving me a nod and wandering over to Orlando and quickly hugging him.
I mean from Dave!
I took my chance to escape, taking Sal's hug as cover and breathed in the clean mountain air. Everyone wants the Yeen hug. The Yeen cuddles. Oh, you didn't say who, so deal with it. And this is it.
That's what I'm saying, literally once the Dave S, it's godlike.
Everyone. Skip button gaming, we're speed running. Fucking speed running.
Oh, hi, Jack.
You hug that Yeen and it'll probably feel like you're getting carried by Jesus. Well, obviously. I helped Sal put some fresh bandages on Tyson, and then we spent some time together just sitting outside. We beat the dusty and grimy mill, and the colors up above as the sun continued to set turned from a rosy pink to a dark shade of purple. He put his arm around me, making sure I was close enough, though I could tell from the lines on his face that the day had worn him down completely. He was one that started to drift off first, and together we went back inside and took a quiet nap on my bed. We still have one more route. You've been staring into space for a while, Dave. Sal lightly poked the top of my head, rousing me from my thoughts and in turn helping me stand up. Sorry, just thinking. About... Nothing specific, just a general... Think of how nice it is that we're not on the mountain anymore. I agree, it wasn't the nicest place to be in the end, was it? I don't think anyone could have really seen that coming. It's not as bad as it got.
Surprise, motherfucker!
It's just a shame that... I could see his hands trembling, and then I took them in mine to squeeze slightly. Hey, it's alright, you did everything you could. Because of you, we're safe. Not everyone. Well, no, but... He sighed, shaking his head. I'm sorry. It wasn't easy on any of us, and it could have been worse. A lot worse. You could have died. Tyson could have, too. We all could have. Even Roswell. He slumped again, squeezing my hands back. He would have died sooner if you hadn't jumped in. At least this way he didn't get killed, he just, expired. Not the greatest way of putting it, but... Sal's attention was drawn to someplace else, and I followed his gaze towards Roswell's grave, where two familiar individuals were making their way towards us. Hello. Hello, Dave. Sal. Hello, Oswin. Hello, Mrs. Sinclair. Hello. I opted to just wave, confused as to why they were here now. At least if there was any reason beyond just visiting Roswell. You both look well. I'm fine. Flora is also fine. I shaved my beard. can you maybe feel a little bit more enthusiastic about what we're here for? We're here to see Roswell. Forgive me for being a little lacking in enthusiasm while I'm grieving. My condolences. I might be a misunderstanding, but was there any other reason you were here, aside from Roswell, I mean?
Now that you mention it, yes.
What can we help you with? Florencia pulled from her pocket in one swift motion a familiar-looking piece of metal, holding it out for either of us to take. Sal looked to me briefly before taking the metal himself, giving it a quick glance. Oh, a medal. Hooray. Does this meet your enthusiasm requirement, dear sister?
Brother.
Don't make me hurt you. Please don't fight. We'll take the medal even if we have one of those already. Yeah, this looks just like the one that Roswell left me. Oh? Scorpio, I think? To be fair, this one has more loops. It is a more loopy M.
That'd be Virgo.
Oh, well, cool. Thank you for the Virgo.
You're very welcome.
But why are we getting this? Is there a reason, or...?
It's for next time. Just in case.
I don't understand.
It's alright, so long as Dave does. At least on a surface level, that's enough.
But the vault was open already, plus the thing inside was destroyed, so...
It is now, yes, but what if it wasn't?
I believe that's enough, Flora. He took her by the hand, shaking his head before looking back to me and Sal. I wish you both the very best. I feel you deserve it anyway. Then he turned to Sal, eyes narrowing as he thought about what to say before relaxing once more. And I'm sorry for everything you went through, Sal. Hopefully life is easier on you without me in it anymore. With that, they walked away. Well, that was... Oh, I do remember. Interesting. One way of putting it, sure. Sal offered the medal for me to take off him, and I just stowed it in my pocket, not really knowing what else to do with it. What would you like to happen now, Dave? Are we finished visiting Roswell? More long-term, I suppose. Honestly, I don't know. I'm happy, I think. Though you have a big part to play in that. He rumbled happily next to me, though offered nothing back. Just take it one day at a time. Days ticked by, Sal and I growing closer and closer until we decided to finally put a label on what we had. There was a second round of Dean being grumpy about it, but it lasted all of a week before it was time for their regular night of bowling. Tyson started going with them too, 3 of them expanding into something more of a team for league bowling. It was nice that they had their own thing. Especially when I still had Orlando and Haas to hang around with. It was mostly Haas, given Orlando disappeared for a year only to come back declaring that he got permission to open a bakery. We all only saw it as a good thing, and soon enough Dean followed suit and opened his cafe. With everyone finding jobs around town, it led Sal and I to do the same. Helping run the gym until I started helping out at the cafe too. I liked it more than the gym, and eventually became a more permanent partnership. Tyson ended up taking over my spot at the gym, though. Haas seemed to do his own thing, showed up one day with a girlfriend of his own, and said they were looking to start a family or take over the world. I didn't know better, I would have sworn that she'd stepped right out of one of Haas's graphic novels, but if he was happy, so was I. While we were brought together and that we didn't split like I feared we would, it wasn't a bad life, quite the opposite. What small part of the world we existed in, we made happy on our own deeds. For what horrible things we had to live through to get there, though, was worth it in the end. Okay, we gotta be quick! We gotta be quick! Load. Page 1. We gotta be fast. Yes! Tyson! Tyson! It is time for Tyson! Fuck! Fuck! Let me edit stream details real quick. Fuck. Just fuck. The fuck off, Twitch. Edit stream info. Tyson. Alrighty, stream info has been updated. Do you all see the new title? Yeah, do you... fuck yeah! Alrighty, let's do this shit. Picking Tyson seemed to make the most sense if you wanted to play. At least that way no one else would be stuck with him and run the risk of another fight starting. But I like Tyson, he wasn't perfect, but we spent a lot of time together as it was. There was some level of familiarity there that made picking him as a partner make sense. Not that it was really a chance to learn anything new, but I wasn't going to say no if it happened. Choose Tyson? Yes. I looked to my right, unsure if what I was about to suggest would ruin Roswell's plans for this thing. Still, it was to some extent my responsibility. Ty, I'll pick Tyson. He looked me over and I started to chuckle, the rest of the table going silent after I'd announced my choice. Me? Really? Is that bad? This is fucking stupid, but dunno. If you want me to play, I guess I'll give it a shot. I looked to the others, unsure of how this was going to mess with the overall plans of things.
Well, okay, this could still work. I can still play the role of overseer of this game so the teams can stay even.
Roswell seemed to be taking this better than I expected. Part of me worried that I was going to get chewed out at some point, but for the time being, it seemed as though I was safe.
After all, someone's got to keep a tally of who finds what so we can declare a winner.
I guess that works out, partner, but didn't figure that's a good enough way to divide the rest of the group. I don't quite get it, but sure. I suppose that all works out. I'm fine with it to make it easier. Scales versus fur? Alright. I wondered for a moment if Sal had discounted the team of myself and Tyson, or if he was assuming that it was the four of us pitted against him and Orlando. Ooh, this is going to be awkward. Even Tyson, who seemed reluctant to really interact with anyone else, was lingering close to the group. That said, he was my partner in this, so maybe that was why. He also seemed to plant himself by the entrance, taking a look inside before looking expectantly to the rest of us. Tyson clapped me on my shoulder while I was hyping myself up, bringing me back to earth. You done being a dork yet? Hey, I'm just having fun with it. Would it kill you to smile, maybe? Oh, I've got plenty to smile about, pup. You know, with you and my team and all. I tilted my head in confusion, not quite sure what Tyson was getting at before I noticed him glancing at Roswell. The boy was seemingly weighing up his options before heading in by himself. Here I was about to ask if he wanted to join us, but... well, turned out I was too late to extend that offer. When I looked back to Tyson, he was looking past me towards the entrance of the maze. So, mazes, right? Mazes, yeah. Fuck 'em. I say we cheat. Cheat, isn't that, you know, cheating? And that's bad? Only matters if we find the thing. If we don't get caught, no one's gonna know we cheated. This wasn't the first time Tyson had suggested something of the sort, but up until this point, it always made it clear that I wasn't to get involved and to just leave it to him. Apparently something about my laugh just making it harder. But I think he really just wanted to keep me out of trouble. Okay, but they're going to see us when we get to the middle, right? Like, they'll see us climb through a hole. What hole? How did you think we're going to be cheating? I don't know, maybe go through the walls or digging under them, maybe? I shrugged, giving Tyson a sheepish smile as he groaned. Hell no for the digging, but slipping through the walls isn't a bad idea. Points for trying, Bob. They're not hedges, though, just walls with stuff in front of them. Checked it last night after dinner. Doesn't matter anyway. I don't know what we're looking for. It's not even in the middle of the maze. I did a double take, frowning. Wait, you already know where the metal is? Why didn't you say anything or even grab it when you were here? Not sure it's the one that the clue was talking about, but I found something like it. Well, that's one question answered anyway. What's the other? Why were you out here after dinner? Like, I assumed you'd be doing the thing, you know, in the gym. Hey, I can do what I want when I want. But fine, I was out here thinking about stuff. Needed the fresh air for a change. I held Tyson's gaze, expecting him to elaborate, but he left the explanation there. Come on, pup. Let me show you this thing I found. Trust me, this nose can lead us there no problem. Tyson wandered off towards the maze, expecting me to follow close behind, with how he slowed down upon realizing I wasn't immediately next to him. He led the way, slightly ahead and sticking to my left-hand side. It was what he used to do in school. Apparently it was easier with him leading, so he could shove people out of the way, given all I had to do was follow in his wake. On the way home it was different though, where I'd lead and he'd stick behind me until we got to mine. Then he'd double back to his place a few doors down. Ty? What? You sure you know where you're going? Yeah. Why? No reason, just checking. Almost as if helping my point, Dean wailing for some help finding his way rang clear over the walls of the maze. Haas's voice echoed soon after, telling him to just keep going and stay calm. When have I ever led you astray, pup? I stared hard into the back of Ty's skull until he turned back to look at me, quirking a brow upon noticing my expression. Really? Really? Think back. As Ty returned my stare, I started to think back. Seeing it as a challenge, I was expecting to think of something immediately, but Ty's grin was throwing me off. He knew I was finding it difficult and was now just waiting for me to admit I was wrong. What's wrong, pup? don't want to admit I'm right. No, that's not... Just give me another minute. I continued to think but was drawing a blank. He was right. Everything that I thought of turned out to be him shouldering the burden of any wrongdoing in case things went wrong. And the few times that I'd asked his opinion on something, he'd flat out said that he didn't know or that it didn't matter. All in all, Ty was reliable. A jerk, but reliable. Okay, you win. See? Was that so hard? I whined, defeated, slinking forward a couple more paces, expecting Ty to already be moving. Instead, with my head hung, I bumped into his front. Oh. As I recoiled from bumping into him, going to move away and follow up with an apology, Ty held me carefully in place with a hand on the back of my head. Look, you trust me, yeah? I'm not going to get us lost. Here, just, if it'll make you feel better, just hold on to my top or something so you don't get separated. That was when Ty pulled away, expecting me to just decide for myself what I wanted to do. Are we going to grab his hand, grab his shirt, or grab his tail? Tyson, you're a fucking bottom. Wait, hang on. I gotta fact check something real quick. Grab his hand and tail. Huzzah. I'm an earth sign. Huzzah. Do with that information what you will, I'm an earth sign. Okay, so 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, save, boom. Okay, we're gonna grab his tail. With his tail swishing back and forth, it seemed the most reasonable thing to grab at the time. No sooner than I touched it, Ty spun around, glaring at me. The fuck do you think you're doing? You said grab something. Not my tail. Okay, sorry. Let's go back. And we'll grab his hand. Sizing up my options, there seemed to be one option that made the most sense. I took a few quick steps forward before taking Ty's hand. He stopped in his tracks, eyes forward, ears straight up. I looked up at him, confused. Ty? Yeah? Is this okay? Yeah, it's fine, I guess. Whatever. I felt him give my hand a slight squeeze as if affirming that I was in fact holding his hand. I could only remember a few things where we'd held hands, and that was typically just so he could drag me along somewhere. Alright, let's get going, pup. We continued wandering, with sounds of Dean's wailing filling the silence. I kept stealing glances up at Ty, who had his eyes trained forward, seemingly walking a memorized path rather than sniffing his way forward. Eventually, Ty led me to a spot, pulling his hand free. Alright, let me just see if it's still here. Sure, okay. Ty got down on his hands and knees, digging around in the soil near one of the walls. Ty? What? What are you doing? Like, I thought we weren't digging. I just stashed something here, that's all. So, out of the way? Yeah. This is one of the metals. You were just going to leave it out here? Yup. That's sort of a dick move, Ty. Why? I didn't know what it was when I found it. Didn't look all that valuable. Besides, I would have let you know, pup. Okay, but you could have stashed it in your room. Now you're on the ground sniffing around like... Ty turned to me, glaring me down again. Say it and you'll regret it. May like it, but you don't get off calling me a dog either, pup. He went back to rummaging, grumbling as he did so. I sheepishly stood in place, thinking back to the last time I'd accidentally called him a dog. Not long after, Ty pulled out what appeared to be half of a metal disc. It's half of something? Look enough like one of those metals. I guess, but why is there only half? Does this count as what we were meant to be looking for? Ty handed it over and I ran my fingers over the rusted surface. It was hard to tell if it was rust, dirt, or just something else. It was hard to make out any sort of design on the surface, maybe a line at best, but it wasn't enough to identify it as a zodiac sign. If it doesn't turn out to be one of the metals, I'll just hawk it for the cash when we get back. Isn't it just a piece of metal? Metal can be worth a bit. You need to know what's worth what if you're going to trade it into a scrapyard or pawn shop. Do I want to know what you've been up to? Probably not. Either way, take it with you just in case. It turns out not to be what you're after, you can always just give it back. Well, I held the piece of metal out for Tyson to take back. Maybe you should hold on to it. I'll probably just lose it. Tyson shrugged and shoved the piece of metal into his pants. He had pockets, but opted not to use them. Almost as if they were full already. So, what now? I guess we could keep searching the maze. Sounds like Dean is still lost at least, so we wouldn't be the last ones to reach the middle. Tyson seemed to think about it for a bit before shaking his head. Nah, you can keep searching, but I have something I want to do instead. Like what? Wouldn't you like to know? Maybe I'll just hit up the gym. I gave Ty a look, earning me a shrug back. Go play with your friends, I'll be around later. I'll bring you back to the start of the maze, though, so you don't end up like the bear. Oh, we have all the medals! Ah! Ty took the initiative of taking my hand in his, leading me through the maze once more. We wandered in silence, my grip on Ty's hand tightening slightly. Ty gave my hand a squeeze back, stopping shy of presumably one of the final turns in the maze. You gonna be good? Yeah? Why? Ty searched my face for an answer and seemingly found it, turning back to face the way we were going. Just making sure. Are you gonna be good? Yeah, I'll be fine. Before we exited the maze, Ty violently pulled his hand free of mine. Head darting around the place, I sighed, finding myself having enjoyed holding Ty's hands more than I should have. Well, catch you later, pup. Wait, Ty, before you go. What? Thanks. No probs. See ya. I watched as he headed back to the back of the mansion, right up until he disappeared back inside. He didn't look back once. As I was standing there, I buried my hands into the pouch of my hoodie with a sigh.
Oh, Dave, did you get lost?
Oh no, just taking a break, I guess.
Oh, me too. Turns out navigating that maze was a little bit more difficult than I'd expected.
There's not really any way of navigating in there, is there?
Not really, no. It's a lot bigger than I gave it credit for.
Dean's wails echoed again, punctuated Roswell's point. I looked back to the mansion, wondering what Ty was up to, or even what he'd found was another one of the medals. I may as well keep that to myself for now until I was sure. Wait, what's that?
I was thinking about heading into the...
Hang on. Do we want to hang out with Roswell? Do we want to hang out with the bacon? Is this going to be a love triangle or like a love situation where like Tyson and the bacon are constantly vying for Dave's attention? Are they just vying for his attention? Oh, hi, Ty. Oh, okay. Don't generally have company, but it's good for some alone time. Also a good time to work out, or just take a walk. Why do I get the impression that it's not just a walk? Ever hook up in public? What the fuck?! What the actual fuck? Wait, what? Well, that, or runabouts of vandalism. Tipping over trash cans and whatever. Seriously? Priorities change, pup. Hadn't done one of them in a fair while. Which one? Wouldn't you like to know? What? It wasn't so late I'd bring you back to my room, but I ain't setting up another bed for you to sleep in. Such a gentleman. Bitch, I'm plenty gentleman. What? 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 What the fuck? What the fuck did I just read? What does Roswell need? What does the bacon need? We're just speed running right now. We're just speed running at this point. What does the bacon need? The bacon needs a bacon sandwich. No! Yeah. He needs Pepto-Bismol. Ibuprofen. Oh, hey, Tyson. Wait, where's your shirt? Yeah, took it off. Well, sure. But why? What, am I not allowed? I'm not saying that. Oh, so you do want me shirtless. Imagine what Dean would say. Hey, that's not very fair. Sure, fair. What do you two even have in common? You haven't fucked, I bet. Only reason he's still around, I'm guessing. Whoa, dude, what the hell? What? Dean and I have plenty in common, thanks. What's your deal? My deal? Nothing, forget about it, I'm sorry. Something was up, but I couldn't quite place my hand on it. Still, Tyson apologizing was out of character, so perhaps it was better to just move on with the conversation. Alright, well, what are you going to do now that you're shirtless? Dunno. What are you going to be doing? Haven't given it much thought after Roswell turned up. Oh yeah, what's up with him anyway? Apparently spent last night in the woods. Got pretty sick. No shit? Huh, well, that's pretty reckless. Doesn't strike me as the outdoorsy type. Well, no, you're right there. As far as I remember, he'd been a nerd forever. Well, at least before he moved away. Turned just as much of one, though. Hey, if Roswell was a nerd, I was just as bad, right? Nah, you were cool. I began thinking back to what we were like as kids. You're not going to go all spacey while you stand there, are you? Oh, shit! Tyson breaking the fourth wall. Oh, huh? Come on, pup. Upstairs. Then you can do your zoning thing out without looking like a freak in the middle of the foyer. Tyson led the way upstairs to his room, diving onto his bed and bouncing back onto his back, reclining and getting comfortable. Alright, go on, you're good now. No flashback for the Yeen. No flashback for him. I sat on the edge of his bed thinking back to what school was like. Roswell and I had been friends for as long as I could remember. Even went to the same school together. Move it, loser! I shivered thinking back to just how bad Tyson was back then. He was the epitome of a school bully in the most violent of ways. It was everything from shoving to hitting other kids, resulted in being forced to stay inside while the others went out to play. There might have been a suspension or two. When Roswell moved away, Tyson's favorite target was gone, so his attention seemed to drift around a few others. Oi, give me your lunch money! He was one of those kids that seemed to grow faster than the others, and was just that little bit stronger. A little more headstrong and otherwise just intimidating to be around. Hey, kid! Who, me? Yeah, you. Hand over your lunch money. Are we going to hand over our lunch money? It's just normal-ass Tyson. No, fuck you, that's my lunch money! Any hesitation and he'd be upon you. He learned quick that going for the ears and pulling harder, even just jabbing you right in the nose, worked a treat. There were many kids that I remember ending up a crying mess on the floor before he got what he wanted, and he walked off afterwards as if nothing had happened. While Tyson and I had interacted to some extent quite young, it wasn't until high school that we really started talking. I remember it being a fairly big deal too. Some sort of scuffle between one of the rich kids and him apparently ended up with the parents getting involved. Rumor had it that he'd hospitalized the kid and was looking at expulsion, at least as far as what Orlando had let me in on. Found him sitting around the back of the school when I was getting ready to head home. He looked like a mess. Dad is going to kill me. I had to admit, seeing Tyson as miserable as he made me wasn't as enjoyable as I thought it'd be. He'd clearly been crying and was tugging at his fur. I was almost scared about what would happen if I approached. Are we going to approach or stay quiet? We're going to approach him. Must have been nuts walking up to him in such a state. No sooner had I taken my first step that he'd gotten to his feet, snarling. But I approached until I was close enough to just be out of arm's reach. Are you okay? He looked me over, eyes narrowing as he did so. You trying to take the piss? Put your face in if you think you're being funny! No, you just, you looked miserable. Fuck you! You don't know what you think you saw. Just get out of here. I'm not in the mood. Just about those rumors. Are you getting expelled for something? None of your fucking business! Okay, well, if you're sure. Figured it'd be best to leave while he was giving me the chance and bailed. I didn't see him again until later that evening. He looked like a wreck, fur even more disheveled than what I'd seen him at school. Looked like the both of us had decided to go for an after-dinner walk. I must have held his attention for too long as he made a beeline to me and shoved me. Hey, what was that for? You better not have squealed about how you saw me at school. What? No, of course not! Good. What I hadn't told him is that Orlando had called me after I'd gotten home and told me about what might have happened. So, that thing at school? You looking to start something? No, just, it's not true, is it? That you're getting expelled? What do you think? Been on my last strike for a while now. At this stage, I don't even care. Already got my beating from Dad, so may as well just let it happen now. Last strike or beating? Tyson, at this point, just needs a hug. And suddenly what I'd heard him say in his appearance now made sense. Tyson didn't even say anything in response and just gave me a long, hard stare. Oh, don't worry about it. Apparently the rich kid Tyson had bullied was a family friend of Orlando's, belonging to another wealthy dragon family. Turns out Orlando's dad had had enough of his son being bullied and called in a favor. So, what? I think I might be able to get you out of trouble, maybe. No shit? I mean, the kid's parents have it out for you from what I've been told. Well, great. But I can try and explain it to the principal tomorrow, on one condition. You fucker, what do you want? I want a free pass. You don't come after me, I stay out of your way. What's stopping me from just beating the information out of you? Well, we're in public for one, and I could just let you get expelled. Fine, deal. Maybe you're a little cool, but only a little. Next, I had to forcibly drag Orlando to the principal's office to verify my story, although he was none too happy about it. You done being a dork? Yeah. Just thinking back to that time I saved your ass from being expelled. Which one? The first one. Can't say I remember. Never had to carry my books to class from then on, at least. It was just weight training. And waiting for me by my locker was adorable, too. Oi, how else was I going to get my pre-class gains? Oh, right. Which is why you also lingered so we could walk home together. Dude, we lived on the same street. I turned and pinched his cheeks, razzing him further. Nah, and here I thought you liked following me around like a puppy. He'd grabbed me and flipped me over so fast my head was spinning. He had one hand pinning my wrists together, his other holding me by the neck. Let me make one thing clear, pup. Between you and me, I'm the alpha. Call me a puppy again and trust me, you'll find out the hard way we stay on the pecking order. Tyson is definitely a bottom. Tyson let me get back up, arm around my shoulder while he checked his phone. It wasn't the first time he'd pinned me down like that, and it wasn't the first time I'd razzed him about being a puppy. It was honestly in good fun. He learned where the boundaries were after the first time I kicked him in the balls when he went too far. Might go work out. Might take a nap. You want to do anything? Nap sounds alright, actually. Once more, I was pulled down onto the bed, forced into being a little spoon.
Huh?
I'll set an alarm so we can get up for dinner. I could have napped on my own, you know. Oh, we can fuck off then if you want. Tyson began to push me off the bed, but I clung to whatever I could. Hey, wait, I take it back! Tyson did stop pushing, but shifted his hands down to my waist and pulled me back into his. Well, if you're gonna share my bed, you're gonna have to pay the price, pup. My way, or at the very least make it worth my while. Grumbling, I shuffled back and resigned to being his little spoon. But the next moment he vaulted over me, stripped down, and wandered towards the bathroom. Gonna take a shower. He didn't bother looking back, instead opting to just give me a view of his ass as he disappeared into the adjoining bathroom. What? Next thing I remember is waking up to him laying next to me, playing on his phone just before it was time for dinner. Obviously, we gotta sit next to Tyson. We obviously have to sit next to him. I gave Ty a look and he just grinned back. Well, maybe I didn't want to sit next to a mutt like you anyway, but here we are. I caught the twitch of his tail. Well, the bitch has balls. Wait. What movie does Tyson like? Hang on. Wait, what movie are we going for Ty? Let's go with action. Tyson had his arm over my shoulder, holding me close. Time to visit the vault. And it's Tyson's death. Time for Tyson to die. If you're lucky, I'll let you have my singlet afterwards. Yeah. Should I be concerned? Nah, not yet at least. That said, Tyson didn't move from behind me and just left his hands on my hips, almost holding me against his front. Obviously, we have to work out with Tyson. We don't have a choice in the matter, we're just going with Tyson. I turned away for only a second to see Tyson had taken off his singlet and was messing with the weights on the bar. Are you going to need someone to spot you for this too? It's why I brought you down here. Oh, okay. Then we're going to see how well you do, pup. Alright. Nervous. Only if you're expecting me to lift the same amount of weight as you. You do this way more often. Well, guess we'll just see how good you do after I'm done. I watched as Tyson lay down and grabbed the bar. Barely had my time to ready myself before he started lifting. By comparison to Haas, Tyson lifted the bar up and down methodically, with a strange sense of primal vigor. Are you alright? I'm fine! I flinched with how he growled out the words, not missing a beat. Come on, push me a little! Oh, which one? I already got one. There was only the slightest pause in Tyson's rhythm as he upped the intensity, almost yelling out as he did so. A bitch, huh? What followed next was incoherent grunts, growls, and other sounds as Tyson continued to lift. I was half thankful that he was preoccupied with his workout to take out the insult on me directly. At some point he began to snarl, going with almost no sign of stopping, to the point Haas looked over from where he was to see if everything was okay. Stop a bit for the ad. Fuck. Tyson is a bitch, though. But he's our bitch. And that's okay. Tyson's a bitch, but he's our bitch. And we love him for that. You gotta be careful making fun of characters, because one of the last times I made fun of a character, like, actually made fun of one, was back in January. And I was disallowed from using TikTok Live because it kept calling Lance Stinky. Like, Lance from Remember the Flowers, Lance Krager, I kept calling him Stinky. Because, you know, he is stinky. And TikTok Live did not like that. They thought I was bullying someone. So I got banned from it. I'm able to use it now. Is it really bullying if it's a fact? Wait, yeah, no, it's still bullying. Eventually, with a little bit of help, Tyson put the bar back up, slumping back on the bench out of breath. So, doing bench presses, good? You're about to find out. Your turn. Wait, really? Yup, get on the bench and I'll spot you. So I did as I was told and watched as Tyson adjusted the weight, notably just removing some that he'd added on earlier. So we're just gonna take this slow, yeah? Don't want you hurting yourself. Aw, how sweet. Yeah. Tyson took the bar and eased it down so I was holding the weight and I began. Match Tyson's pace, Haas's pace, or go at our own pace? What pace are we going for? Going at our own pace. I had only the two of them as role models on how best to do this. I'd seen it done before, but doing was another matter altogether. Just remember to keep your breathing even. It'll help you keep the timing right. I nodded and kept going. It was slow, but it seemed easy enough. I could probably do this again with more weight, but for now this was alright. As Tyson helped me put the bar up, he shuffled closer, his crotch right over my forehead. Hey, pup. Like the view down there? He adjusted himself, his groin almost brushing up against my nose. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Good Lord, Tyson. Nah, he's just brosexual. Let me at least pretend that this is a relatively wholesome visual novel. Let me at least pretend. Stay safe, have a good night, and I'm gonna see you all tomorrow.